as a mixture. So your commitment to this community might not be as much as your commitment to your community. But if the community are working in line with you, of course, you feel more comfortable. So that's my own take on the issue.
As just like he said, as the former chief of staff to Governor Lalo,
Yes.
comment on the controversy of speakership still in the central zone instead of the southern zone.
Well, I think this is where an error of judgment has been made by the present government to assume that you only work with people who are loyal to you or people whom you are presumed are loyal to you. This politics is give and take. You work with people who like you and you work with people who don't like you.
Yes.
That is leadership. Leadership entails that you have to work with people who don't like you. If everybody likes you, it means even dictatorship. Dictatorship is coercion.
Yes.
And this is not a point whereby you have coercion. There is an unwritten agreement within the polity called Plateau,
Yes.
whereby this zoning has been made sacrosanct. To negate it, it means we're going back to what happened in 2015. It's trying to look at people and say, your agreement does not matter to us. We will do what we feel like because we have the authority to do it.
Yes.
So it is an unfortunate situation, and I pray that the government or the governor takes steps to redress it. Let it not be a discussion going forward.
Yes.
Because somebody who, in the next 6 years, the northern zone is going to assume leadership.
Yes.
And if they decide that the speakership should not remain in the central zone, I don't think the present governor will like it. If the shoes is in another leg.
Yes.
So I think you need to have a futuristic look at this, because it's not something right that simply because this is the person that can hold control for the house of the house for you, so he should be the one to continue. No, yeah, I don't have a problem with whoever he chooses to be his speaker, but he should be domiciled within the ambit of the political arrangement in the state, not to suit whatever you want. Anybody can do what this gentleman in the central zone is doing for him. Anybody can do it for him. Depends on how he manages it. I was a director of protocol for 6 years. I was a chief of staff for 4 years. So I have a fair idea of the dynamics of how these things work. So to me, 10 years of this experience, I'm sharing because I know. So it's supposed to count for something for me to say something about it.
Yes. Speak on the issue of counterpart funding as pertained by the, as portrayed by the former DG, Research and Documentation, Professor Wadi, which has elicited controversy by the Mutfang administration.
Well, to my mind, it shouldn't be a controversy. And actually, I wouldn't want to comment on that. Why? Because I was not in office when all these discussions about counterpart funding were done. But I can speak if I have a discussion from 2015 to 2019. But most of these counterpart funding were from 2019 to 2023, before the exit of the Lalong government. So I don't think it's supposed to be a controversy. All you need to do is let the Mutfang government show their own contribution. You didn't do it, we did it. Show it, that's all. Is there a controversy there? If Lalong is DG Research is saying they did the most of the contribution. Now you that is on seat, you have a right to have access to the documents. No, you didn't contribute the much you said, You contributed only 10%. We contributed the balance of the 90%. And it's not supposed to be a controversy. It's documents that speak.
Yeah.
Nobody contributed his personal money.
Yes.
If Lalong says he contributed, was it his personal money? No. It's within the treasures of Plateau State.
Yes.
So if the one who is the custodian of the treasures now is supposed to speak truthfully, he knows he's not going to stay there forever. Neither will the documents disappear because he has left office. So if he's lying now, it will say, another government will come in and they will look at it and say, you lied before. So what you want to leave for posterity is what you will say now. So it's not a controversy to my mind. It's not supposed to be. It's a simple thing. If Lalong says, or his DG says, they contributed most of the counterpart funding for the projects that are ongoing, good and fine. Maybe they don't have access to those documents now because they left and the documents are in somebody's custody. Now the person who has the documents has access to it, can present it. I think it will solve the problem.
Yes. Lastly, sir, can you comment on any issue that bothers you and needs addressing, be it local, national, or international? Any issue?
I think my major crux of our problem is that, Plateau is supposed to be citadel of the North in like advancement. Everybody in the North looked up to Jos, the Plateau, as the area whereby you had people who knew the social ways of life, how they can stay and live comfortably with each other. But from 2001, we lost that glow. We lost that beauty that pervaded us. Now we need to look inwards and find out what really happened. Where did we lose it? The whole struggle for emancipation by Solomon Lai was to unleash us to the nation, to make us liberated from the shackles of dominance and let us sit as equals. But I don't think that philosophy was supposed to drive the Plateau man into arms, to hate each other, because we have ethnic hatred that is brewing up. Because we have already finished the other aspect in 2001 with the fight that we had shown a certain level of character that we are not accommodating enough. We're tired of the incessant belligerent behaviors of some people who are resident, and we are no longer going to take shit from anybody. We have finished that. Now we are facing each other. You find that there is mutual suspicion between the Mogavul and the Ngas, mutual suspicion between the Birom and the Jarawa, mutual suspicion between Miango and Rukuba, mutual suspicion between the Pan and the Gamai, the Tarok and the Gamai. So all these things, they are reducing what Plateau stood for. Anywhere in Jos I met a Tarok man, he was my brother.
Yes.
Anywhere I was with the Gamai man, he is my brother.
Yes.
Where Mogavul man and Ngas man met, they were brothers.
Yes.
That's the way we used to be. Yes. But now we seem to stigmatize each other according to those ethnic nationalities. And it's unfortunate. Most of the leaders that should be able to bring us together, maybe they are no longer strong enough. They do not have the way without to call for a conference to talk truth to ourselves. And the association, PIDA, is supposed to be the umbrella body that should lead in this discussion.
Yes.
But it is also incapacitated. People tend to politicize it. And because people are politicizing it, it lacks the moral right to speak. Because everybody will look at you. You are either hanging on the tree of this party or you are hanging on the tree of that party. So when you speak, they say you are speaking the language of that party. Nobody looks at you as speaking as a leader of the group. So those are the things that concern me. Why? Because we grew up and I was privileged, like I said, 10 years, top notch of the state. I think it's a privilege. Not many people have. So for me, I should be able to say, let's try and see how we can come back together and talk to each other as brothers, or we'll perish as fools.
Talking about nationally, the issue in National Assembly between the Senate President and one of the senators. How do you see, yes. How do you see
Well,
that?
I think we're making a caricature of our institutions, and that to me is not supposed to be. A sexual harassment issue should not be a matter of national discourse. That is my take. It shouldn't be a matter of national discourse. It's supposed to be something that the institution, as it is constituted, should be able to have a way in which it handles such situations. And they should be able to be sincere. If she has her evidences, and I think it's for her, there's an ethics and privileges committee in the Senate, which is supposed to listen to her, collect evidence, and place it for public to see.
Yes.
The Ethics and Privilege Committee is not like a secret cult. It's something that can be laid bare.
Yes.
If there is a need for it, she can request for an open discussion of the committee.
Yes.
Committee events are not secret if it is desired that they should be open.
Yes.
So I don't know why it's a national discourse. So it's just making a caricature that it means our institutions are not strong enough to handle certain situations. Because if it is the institutions are strong, they deal with such situations. And if it is something that the Senate President is found culpable, he has to go. That's my take. If he is abusing his office and harassing women, then he has to go. Well, if she's just making a frivolous claim, she has to she has to suffer the consequences of that. That is my take.
Okay. On the international scene, with the coming of President Trump, he has started bringing some policies, particularly economic policies and trade policies, that may not be palatable to Nigeria and other countries. What is your call on such policies?
No, well, I think you see, he thinks those policies are to enhance the strength of America, but 2025, before the end of this year, is predicted that America will go into recession. It's because of some of the economic policies.
Yes.
He's running. Why? Because you are stifling and trying to make America. It's obvious. You don't need to place it before us that you are the
President.
You are the giant of the world.
Yes.
Everybody knows, one way or the other, the dollar is the currency that is used to measure most of the activities of the economic world.
Yes.
So is that not enough? You are saying you charge tariff anybody that is bringing anything to your country. They are not the most populous.
Yes.
And any country that is populous has the market.
Yes.
So in Africa, we have the market.
Yes. You
will produce there, but if you don't have a market, what is the essence of it? So you need a market.
Yes.
So you are now fighting the market. Okay, look at his problem with Canada.
Yes.
Is there any market better than Canada for America? That is the most viable market. And the production lines that they have in America, some of them are situated even in Canada. but you are creating tariffs and other things against them, you're going to have problems. You know, I'm not an economic specialist, but from all indications is that these policies is doing will boomerang, and his policies on the political space in the world is also something that is very dangerous for the world, because at the end of the day, you cannot say, if I'm staying here, something is happening to my neighbor, I should not, it doesn't bother me.
I should bother you.
Because if tomorrow my neighbor is consumed, it will be a problem. That's why Russia has refused Ukraine to join NATO. Because how can you come and put a base at my backyard? He has forgotten. In the 60s, America refused for Cuba to set a base, Russian base in Cuba, because it's wrong. Can't put a base near me, and tomorrow something will happen. So all these things America were doing were to safeguard the nature of their state, but they know better, and they voted for him. So as you make your bed, so shall you lie in it. So let us see how